All right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling finding love after 60.
Ooh, spicy.
Right, we're digging into this podcast, Still Searching After 60. And I gotta say, the title, it kind of makes retirement sound less like, margaritas on the beach and more like, well, still searching.
Yeah, maybe still searching in the silver years doesn't have that same ring to it. But it does make you think, right? Like, we always connect romance with being young, but wanting to connect with someone doesn't just vanish when you get older.
Totally. And get this, we've got Justin, Jane, and Kate from the podcast. These folks are killing it. They're set financially, have amazing families, but still looking for that special someone.
It's like they have all the pieces for a fantastic life, but missing. Like that one key ingredient.
You nailed it. And their stories are like a window into what dating looks like after retirement. The good, the bad, the unexpected.
All the juicy stuff.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
First up, Justin. He's got this dream of retiring to a farm, right? Acres and acres of land. Sounds pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, very picturesque.
But here's the thing. He wants to share it with someone who's like 10 years younger.
Oh, Justin. Well, this age preference might get some side-eye, but it's not uncommon. If you think about it, he pictures himself on this farm, working the land, maybe chasing after some escaped chickens. He wants someone who can keep up.
Makes sense.
It's less about the age and more about matching his energy. Someone who's up for the adventure,
Right. Someone to swing on the porch,
Yeah.
swing with. And Jane, bless her, she called Justin out on that age gap right away. But she had this great point about how dating gets trickier as we age.
Oh, how so?
She said all those years of experience, it means we spot red flags faster. But that's not always a good thing. Like you're on a date and bam, something they say reminds you of a past relationship gone wrong.
It's like you're suddenly having flashbacks. You just can't unsee those warning signs.
Exactly. It can be a slow motion car crash. You see it coming, but you're frozen.
And while it's good to learn from the past, sometimes we get too quick to judge. It's finding that sweet spot between trusting your gut and being open to things being different this time.
Right, right. Speaking of different, we got to talk about Kate. She's got this super friendly relationship with her ex-husband.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
They even do Thanksgiving together. Like, talk about conscious uncoupling.
That's amazing. It shows how relationships can change. It's great they can stay friends and co-parent. But I wonder if all that focus on harmony makes it harder for her to jump into a romantic relationship,
It's a good question. She did say she never really prioritized romance before. Busy with work, family, all that. Now that she's retired, it's like she realizes something's missing.
Like she built this amazing house but forgot to furnish it with love.
That's a perfect way to put it.
And it just goes to show you, no matter how fulfilling your life is, everyone craves that connection.
It's like she's got this amazing life all set up, but now she needs someone to share it with.
Exactly. And that's where our podcast Creo's Advice comes in.
Right. They've learned a lot about love and dating after retirement, stuff our listeners can really use.
Definitely. Let's start with Justin, shall we? He's all about giving people a chance, even if, they don't seem perfect at first glance. Remember all those red flags we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Justin says, don't let those scare you off too quickly.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, who's actually perfect, right? We all have our quirks, those little things that make us who we are.
Precisely. It's those imperfections that make things interesting. Justin's saying, look at the whole picture, not just the surface stuff.
And sometimes those quirks are the things you end up loving the most, right?
Absolutely. Would you really want to be with someone who was totally predictable, like no surprises at all?
Definitely not. I'd rather have someone who makes me laugh, even if they, always forget to take out the trash.
Haha, exactly. Okay, so moving on to Jane's advice. She's all about focusing on who a person is deep down, not getting caught up in their, lifestyle fantasy.
Ooh, I like that.
It's so easy to get swept up in the idea of someone, especially if they have that whole retired and loving it thing going on.
Right, like fancy vacations, dinners out all the time.
Exactly. But Jane's reminding us that's all just window dressing.
It's like, don't fall in love with the beach house, fall in love with the person who makes you feel at home there.
Yes. Shared values, genuine affection, a good sense of humor. Those are the things that really count. And that brings us to Kate's advice, which is so simple, but it really hits home.
What's that?
Make time for love.
Oh, I see what she means.
It's easy to let romance take a backseat when you're juggling work, family, life.
Mm.
But Kate's realized that if you want love to grow, you got to put in the effort.
Kind of like a garden, right?
Mm.
You got to water it, give it some sunshine.
Exactly. Love's a
Yeah.
commitment, just like anything else you care about. Kate's saying be proactive, put yourself out there, whether it's online dating, social events, or just being open to meeting someone new.
Don't just wait for it to happen, right?
Exactly. So for our listeners out there who are still looking for love after 60, what do you think the biggest takeaway is from all this?
Well, for starters, don't give up hope. Justin, Jane, and Kate are proof you can find love at any age.
It might take a little more effort, a little more patience.
And maybe a good pair of reading glasses for those online profiles.
True. But the rewards, totally worth it. Imagine finding someone who makes you laugh, challenges you, shares your interests.
It's about that connection that makes life feel richer, more meaningful.
Exactly. And these three have shown us that a little humor goes a long way in the dating world. They don't take themselves too seriously, which is awesome.
I love that.
Humor is like a superpower when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
Helps you get through those awkward moments, those rejections, helps you keep things in perspective.
They've totally cracked the code, a little optimism, some self-awareness, and a whole lot of laughter.
The perfect recipe, and honestly, that works at any age. But hey, you had that interesting question for our listeners, right? The one inspired by our podcast trio.
Oh, right. Okay, so imagine this. You get to design your ideal retirement companion. But here's the catch. You can only pick personality traits and shared interests. No focusing on fancy stuff or their lifestyle. What would be your top qualities?
That's a tough one. It makes you think about what really matters, you know?
Totally. We're so bombarded with these pictures of perfect couples and their amazing lives. We forget about just enjoying someone's company.
Exactly. Forget the yacht and the mansion. Give me someone who makes me laugh, someone who wants to try new things.
Someone who doesn't mind sharing a big bowl of popcorn at the movies.
You got it. It's finding someone who just gets you, challenges you to think, and makes you feel like you can be yourself no matter what.
And you know what? Maybe by focusing on those core things, kindness, humor, common interests, we actually attract the kind of love that lasts. It's like Jane said, you can't build a strong relationship on just beach houses and fancy cars.
It has to be deeper than that, more meaningful.
Exactly. And Justin, Jane, and Kate have shown us it's totally possible to find love later in life, and that the search itself can be just as fulfilling as finding someone.
So true.
So to all our listeners out there still searching, don't lose hope, embrace the journey, keep your sense of humor, and remember, you deserve love no matter how old you are or what your relationship status is.
And don't underestimate the power of a good laugh, a deep conversation, or just being kind to someone. Those are the things that build lasting bonds. And those are things we can all do every day.
Yeah, well said. And on that note, we're wrapping up this deep dive. Until next time, happy searching, everyone, and keep diving deep.